Welcome back to Houston Newsmakers, where I'm joined by Dr. Carolyn Evans Shabazz, chair of the Houston Community College Board of Trustees and candidate for Houston City Council District D. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good to see you.
Always good to see you.
Why did you decide to run for District D?
Well, actually, it wasn't a decision that I just came to overnight. I actually ran for city council back in 2013 against Jack Christie. And it was a very tough race because it was
at large,
and certainly he was an incumbent. But I look at that and say, I really didn't lose because I met so many people, and which provided me an opportunity to be able to help some other people through those contacts. And so running for me is just it's a passion, it's a calling for me. I really want to help the people in District D to have quality of life.
Well, your pedigree is certainly impressive in that degrees in political science, psychology, doctorate in education, grandfather who was the first president of Prairie View, and you were born right in the district where you are.
I absolutely was born there.
What are those folk who are in that district telling you is most important right now to them?
Well, of course, you know, you look at it, and what's important to me and to everybody is whether you get home safely at night. So crime is one of the biggest pieces of the district, and certainly for the city. And then, of course, the dumping and the homeless sites that we have sometimes in District D. And those are very important to the people in the district.
Dwight Borkins gave up his seat to run for mayor during that period of time. What has he done that you will continue? And what are some of the things that you want to do to take on your own and make them initiative? Because he was out very active in the community doing a lot of different things.
I plan to be active as well. One of the things that's really, really close to my heart is the Second Chance program. And I'll certainly continue that. And actually,
for those who don't know, Second Chance
Okay, Second Chance is the opportunity for those who have been incarcerated or have been disenfranchised in some way to be able to get gainful employment. But I insisted from the very onset that the Houston Community College be involved. So I'm already involved there because I believe that people can go out and apply for jobs, but if they don't have adequate training, then they are not able to access good jobs. And that's very important. You know, when we look at the $15 an hour wage, which certainly I don't think is enough, but if you don't make at least $15 an hour, then certainly you have to work 2 and 3 jobs, which means you can't engage with your children. And how are we going to raise good, productive citizens if we don't engage in their education and taking them to church and all those things? So that's very important to me, that people make a adequate wage.
We were talking about the fact that Houston Community College is not term limited, so you could have stayed there forever, but you decided not to. But it seems like no matter where you go, the education component of who you are is going to go with you.
Well, education is in my DNA, I guess, so to speak. And I'm a person that believes that trades are very, very important. I mean, I have, you know, a terminal degree or whatever, but the reality of it is a lot of people who have these degrees don't really make the money. But more importantly, I can't imagine life without my plumber, without the man that fixes my car and all those things. So I am pushing that because I know that people can get a better wage paying job and change the circumstances of their families. So I'm going to take that with me. I'm going to always push education.
Your opponent for District D is a former hip-hop rapper from Houston's Ghetto Boys, Scarface Jordan. Are you surprised at being a runoff with him?
Well, actually, in a way, yes, and then in a way, no. I mean, he's a popular celebrity. He's actually a great guy. I'm not really, he was surprised. Actually, he called me the night of the election and conceded, so to speak, and said that he was going to support me, which is something he actually said to me from the very first day. And I told him, I said, hold on, Brad. I said, this isn't over yet. And then certainly the next morning I called him, I said, see, I told you it wasn't over yet. And because we have a very good relationship. And so...
that's kind of unusual in this day and age in politics. You know, the fact that you're having that
it
kind
can
of
get
conversation.
very testy, and it did. You know, when I had 15 other opponents. You know, I guess, we were seeing each other so regularly and going to these forums and trying to let people know our platforms that it got a little testy. But I plan, if God gives me this position, I plan to engage all of the candidates in an advisory council because I think that they bring a lot to the table.
Well, now you got early voting has started. What do you tell people now who are thinking about who they're going to vote for? What do you tell them?
Well, first and foremost, I want them to look at me and my experience. I want them to know that I am an experienced person in regards to the budget, which is so very important anywhere in your house or wherever. A budget is very important, and we've passed at the Houston Community College, and most recently a $365 million balanced budget, which is a far cry less than the city, but you have the same skills and you don't acquire them overnight. And City Council is a proving ground and not a training ground, and so I am ready to move forward. Of course, I can't say that it's not a daunting thing and that I don't need people, because I certainly do. But I want them to know that I have the experience and I've also engaged with the community.
Right.
I'm not a new face. I've been there, out there working and walking with the people because I think that that's necessary. You do that before you ask people to support you.
Well, I wish you the best of luck, and I've asked Scarface Brad Jordan to come on. We'll see if he does or not. The invitation is certainly there. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so very much for this opportunity, and thank you, Houston.
Good luck on December 14th.
Thank you. All right.